Okay, and welcome to the Happenista Retreat webinar. Hello, Cheryl. Thanks for
Hello,
joining us. How are you?
I'm very well.
Oh, very kind of you to join today, and great to see you. And yeah, I was thinking about you today after attending your event. I was looking at the notes, and I'm very pleased to tell you I've joined the gym our event, and I have also been putting blocks of time aside to do my creative work. So definitely really did some good things for me. So thank you very much.
Very nice, very nice. Oh, goody.
Yeah, really, really good. Okay, so the webinar today is all about the Happenista retreat that's coming up in February. And you know all about it because you attended one, the last one, wasn't it, in June?
Indeed.
Yes, yeah. So I'm just going to really talk about the retreat, the ethos for the retreat, what the next retreat will be focused on, what people can expect, all of that sort of thing, really. Particularly for those who haven't been for a while, and for those who've never been before, but also a bit of a reminder about what you get from it. So we're going to cover who the retreat is for, the venue and the facilities, typical schedule and activities, the facilitators, the underpinning model, and the very special early bird offer we have this time. And it is really special. I think it's maybe one of the best offers that we've ever had. And also answer any questions that anyone has about the retreat as well. So this time we're focusing we always have a different theme. And this year's theme is Dare to Dream. It's about really stepping outside of your comfort zone, really pushing yourself and setting some stretch goals and daring to dream for the things that you really want. Quite often we don't dare to dream. We don't want to imagine the big things that we can achieve. And as a result, we don't really reach our potential. There's many things that I've done in my life now that I never thought I would have been able to, but I kind of dared to try and dared to dream about them. And as a result, they've managed to materialize and happen. Even me, still, I think at times I hold myself back. So it's great to be surrounded by a group of people who are willing to push you when you say, oh, I couldn't do that, or yeah, there's really good reason why I'm not doing that, and actually challenge your thinking to see if that's really true, because we can all lie to ourselves a bit. We can all make excuses. So this retreat is really about stretching yourself, but in the way that's right for you. So, you know, if you don't want to start a business, no one's going to make you do that. If you don't want to get fitter, no one's going to push you to do that. It's about stretching you in the direction that you want to go in, rather than someone says there's a blueprint and you must do these 5 things. Well, that's not what we're about. It's really about you thinking about your own goals, but not playing small anymore. Yeah, it's actually saying, I dare to try to achieve these things. You know, I love that. If not me, who? If not now, when? It's about starting to ask yourself those sorts of questions. So a little bit about me. Oh, I can see a little typo there. Spot the typo and you get a prize. I've won a number of awards over my career. I've been running my business since 2006. I started off as a marketer. I worked for a leading business school, an international business school. And a colleague who's now a really good friend came into my office and just said, where next? Where are you going with your career? And I thought, well, I'm doing it. I'm here. And she said, no, you can do more. And she encouraged me to attend a coaching program, which was transformational for me. It really pivoted my career, made me think about what I wanted to do, really put me on a track to actually living my purpose, living what I think I'm meant to do on this earth, which is have transformational conversations with people, help people really understand what's important to them, and help them go in that direction in order to be happier, more fulfilled, and be able to make a bigger difference in the world in the way that they want to. And I do that in many ways. I provide leadership development in corporate organizations. I provide executive career coaching in organizations and with individuals. I speak in the press and on the TV on a regular basis. I'm author of a book called Rocking Your Role, and the second book called The 12 Qualities of Leadership. I'm a TED speaker, and of course, I'm a retreat facilitator, which we're talking about today. And I also have a real passion project called Rocking Your Teens, which provides events for 13 to 14-year-olds to help them and equip them with the skills to be the leaders of the future, whether that's around their character, their self-esteem, or just understanding the wealth of careers out there for them. So for me, these all center around gender balance, inclusion, and the next generation. Ultimately, what I'm about is empowering people in their life, in their work, in their world, to make the transformation that they want. So that's a bit about me if you didn't know already. So I want to show you a short video just to explain to you how the Happenista retreat came about, and also why it came about and what it aims to achieve. So I'm going to quickly do a new share on my screen. Hopefully this will work beautifully. Google Chrome. Okay. I'm hoping that you can see this. Fingers crossed it all works for you.
Hi, I'm Jenny Garrett. I'm an award-winning coach, author and speaker, and the creator of the Happenista Retreat. I created the Happenista Retreat as a follow-on to my online program. I have a group of Happenistas, women who make things happen in their own unique way, and they wanted to meet face-to-face for a transformative experience. The Happenista Retreat is so different because actually it's about celebrating your uniqueness. There is no right way, there's no wrong way. We have a complete mixture of women from all different backgrounds, but what connects them is actually understanding that they want the very best for each other. Ultimately, I think it's a sisterhood, and that's not something you find every day. The term Happenista was created when I undertook some research with Nivea, the skincare brand. We surveyed 2,700 women about their attitudes to celebrity, to career, to relationships. And we found there was a new breed of women, women who make things happen, but in their own unique way. That's what Happenista is. I really hope that the women who attend have some time to relax, have some time to really plan, and also reinvigorate how they feel about themselves. Women are really busy. They do an awful lot. They're often juggling so much. And what happens is they give to others, but not themselves. So this experience will refill them, but also really focus them on their goals and ensure they achieve them. Also, I know that these women actually will make friendships. And as you get older, it's really hard to make friendships. But I know that this environment will nurture those friendships and accountability partners to help them achieve their goals. Every woman is welcome at the Happenista Retreat. Anyone who wants to work on themselves is really happy to be reflective, but also action orientated, because it's not about reflecting for the sake of it. It's about moving forward and bouncing forward in order to achieve your goals.
So I do hope that you were able to see that. Fingers crossed it worked. And I'm going to go back to now the PowerPoint presentation, hopefully. So hopefully you're able to see that and understand how it all came about. I have an online program called the Happenista Project, and the women who took part in the program said, we want something more, and they decided that it should be a retreat. And we're in our third year, I believe. I think, well, it will be the fourth year when if you attend the February retreat. And we've run, I think, 8 or 9 of them now. So it's really been just from the seed of an idea to something that people get an awful lot from. As you can see, it's dedicated to women. I love women. I am a woman. I know we give a lot, you know, whether we're giving it to elderly relatives, whether we're giving it to friends and siblings, whether we're giving it to our pets, to our children, to our colleagues, we give a lot. And the idea is that you refill your cup, that you come along, you spend some time on you, you have some fun and some joy, but also you stretch yourself at the same time and you feel invested in, so you can continue to give. I feel that they're a highlight of my year. Whenever retreats come along, I get as much from them as the participants do, because I need it too. You know, us women, we just give a lot away, and we're busy helping other people. Even if it's your clients, you're busy helping your clients, not necessarily investing in yourself. So this is a bit of indulgence. It's but really important indulgence, so that you can carry on doing the important work that you need to do. But also a bit of a check-in. You can take a step back and think, am I doing the right things in the right way for me? I've had some big changes in the last year. And for me, they were about taking a step back and thinking, am I enjoying it? Am I enjoying the way that I'm doing things? Who said I need to do things this way? Is this bringing, am I still getting the same joy and enjoyment out of the work that I'm doing? And if not, what can I do to change that? Who's in control? You know, are other people in control, or am I in control of actually how I live and craft my life? And a Happenista is a woman who makes things happen her way. So a woman who does take back control and craft the life they want in the way they want, unapologetically, not needing to conform to the way everyone else does it. Actually, sometimes we need to take a step away to notice that we're either falling into old habits, that we're perhaps living up to other people's expectations rather than our own. So that time out is really helpful. Typically, the women are 30s upwards, and really they are a variety of women. They can be running their own business. They can be working in a corporate organization. They can be thinking about a transition in their lives. Sometimes it's about becoming an empty nester. Sometimes it's about a breakup of a relationship. Sometimes it's about changing job. So it's sometimes about transition, sometimes about stages in our life. Sometimes it's a working mum who just wants to be able to take that time back for themselves and recapture who they are. So really, we don't discriminate. You choose yourself, but you must be a woman who's willing to support other women. You're not there just for you, although you are there for you. It's about being supportive and being willing to supportively challenge the other women around you, and also share and be vulnerable in support of them and yourself too. So there has to be a willingness to put yourself out there a little bit. And I completely understand that that might be a little bit uncomfortable for some people. You're going to meet a group of strangers and you'll be sharing with them. But I personally sometimes find it easier to share with strangers than the people I know, because the people that you know really well have all of their preconceptions about you, their assumptions about who you are. And often those people, they might be surprised if you say, well, I didn't quite know what to do here, or I'm finding this challenging. Instead, this group of women are just there to listen without judgment. And we do set really good ground rules as we start the day as well. So I'd love to know what gets in the way of you daring to dream. If you can find the chat tool, please feel free to type in it. What gets in the way of you daring to dream? For me, it's those gremlins can come in sometimes, you know, those thoughts of, oh my gosh, you know, who am I to think I could possibly do that? Oh, maybe I haven't got the right education or upbringing, or I don't look like how they might expect me to look like. Those sorts of things can get in the way. And other things as well, responsibilities, we can use those as an excuse, can't we? Oh, you know, I've got bills to pay, or I've got, or people are relying on me, all of those sorts of things. So we've got it's too big, so best kick it down the road a bit longer. Yeah, that's a really good one, actually. You know, that saying, how do you eat an elephant? Well, you don't try and eat a whole elephant in one go, and you don't even think about eating an elephant in one go, do you? Because it's just, oh my God, it's an elephant. But you could possibly eat it one bite at a time. But often we do look at that huge goal or that big dream and just think, I have no idea where to start to get there. And if we don't know where to start, we often stop before we've started, instead of doing those small things to get us there. And that's one of the things that we do on the retreat, is try and break down those goals that you want to achieve. Even think about those big obstacles. Instead of having this utopia, you're going to set this amazing dream and you're just going to do it and everything's going to work perfectly. We try to help you preempt the things that could get in the way. We try and put some little insurance policies on the way, or little pit stops that can help you reevaluate and kickstart you to continue going. You know, chip away at that giant rock that's in front of you, or find a way to go round it or underneath it, or even climb over it. But the idea is that you think about those obstacles before they come along. So when they come, they're not that huge surprise. They're not that big setback. Instead, you've already anticipated them. And so it's not such a big deal as it might be. And there's also that resilience and perseverance that's needed. And that's where the support comes in. Everyone who joins the retreat becomes part of our secret Facebook group. And it really is a supportive group. We also have some informal mentorship that happens if people want to choose to get a mentor. But usually what I find is women on the group sort of self-select to buddy up, and they check in with each other on how they're doing. They sometimes have afternoon teas and lunches together, and make me really jealous because I see them enjoying themselves and I think, where's my invite? But they connect. And especially the people who choose quite often to share a room, often there's some really great connections and friendships, real friendships that are created as a result of attending. So this idea of daring to dream is our theme. And yeah, you will be stretched. And I think when you attend an event, a workshop, a retreat, a program, the idea is that you are stretched. If you want to be comfortable, you can stay at home in your onesie on the sofa eating ice cream, and you will be comfortable. But the idea is that actually you step out of that comfort zone in a really gorgeous environment with wonderful people, but we push you a bit. And that's in service of you being better and growing and developing yourself too. So these are just a few pictures. I think this was actually, all of these pictures are from our first ever retreat, actually. So really happy faces there of people sharing and growing and developing. And you can see there's a real diversity of women from different backgrounds, from different ages, different worlds, but yet they come together. And I think that's what's so beautiful about this. It's a real diversity of mindset, of experience, of age. We're all together, but we have that real connection because we all want to make things happen. We all want to grow. We all want to supportively challenge each other. And that means that we break down any boundaries that there might be usually when you put a group of people together who possibly don't know each other and may not usually be speaking to each other. So really, every woman is welcome. Every supportive, challenging woman who really wants to commit to their own development and take some time out. If that's you, then you're absolutely welcome to be a Happenista, just like us. Some underpinning ideas that come out of the retreat are that it's a very creative retreat. So you're not just going to have someone at the front of the room talking at you. We have creative activities that, you know, so you can use the other side of your brain. A lot of the time we're writing, we're typing, we're thinking, we're logical and we're objective, we're data driven, and we obviously need to be in this day and age. And so I'm not saying any of that's not important, but actually sometimes the best ideas come from some creative stimulus, from being outside in nature, from doing some journaling, from looking at magazines and bringing images together to think about your goal and how you'll achieve it. This is actually Diane, who actually attended one of our retreats. It's a real Happenista. And this is how she chose to engage with nature. She laid there among the daisies and the buttercups. And it really was fantastic for her. She wanted to get promotion, and she also wanted to come to terms with being an empty nester. Her final child left home and went to live in America. And she came to actually, I think, 3 retreats she's been to. She achieved all the goals she set herself. She wanted to write a blog a month. She wanted to get promoted at work. And she wanted to take up a hobby to compensate for that empty nesting. And she took up yoga. So she's done amazingly well. But all of our Happenistas do. They surpass what they plan to achieve. And it doesn't necessarily mean that's a linear route, because sometimes you set a goal, but it goes off in a slightly different direction. As long as you achieve the essence and intention of your goal, that's the important thing. There's often lots of collaboration, this idea of being around like-minded women and them sparking ideas. It doesn't necessarily mean collaboration in terms of we're going to start a business together or something like that, but that idea of actually I'm not alone, I'm not isolated. There are other people who get me, who understand me, who can help my thinking, help shift my thinking, be a sounding board, be a critical friend. So this idea of collaboration and accountability is part of it. And calm. Our lives are frenetic, aren't they? They're so busy. You may have seen I put out a video this week, Is Busy the New Stupid? Are we just addicted to busyness? And are we actually doing the important things that we should be doing? Actually taking some time out to reflect on your business, on your career, on your life, on your relationships. All of these things are important. You know, if you're a parent, how you're parenting, all of these things on your balance in your life. This is the things that you can actually, the things you've been putting off. Oh, I do need to think about that. I do need to get round to thinking about that. I'm too busy. All of those really busy tasks are calling me and they fill my day. This is a 2-day opportunity to actually focus on them for, you know, for your good and for your future, instead of thinking about now. And there is a lot of power in being in the present, but also thinking, what do I want to create? How do I want to create that? And if I do want to create that, what do I need to start doing now? So these are some beautiful pictures of the Downhall Country House Hotel, where we will be on the 8th and 9th of February. It really does look like this. These are not photoshopped to make it look more beautiful than it actually looks. When you drive up the Grand Drive, this is the house on the top left that you will come to. The top middle picture is the lounge area, and in February the fires will be on, the log fires, and it will be really warm and cozy. And when we're goal setting, people often sit on these sofas, snuggle up and do some really good thinking. It's really comfortable and cozy while also being luxurious at the same time. The food is really good quality and it looks beautiful. So it tastes great, but it also looks gorgeous. They have amazing chefs. And so you are well fed and watered. There is nothing that you would need to spend extra money on unless you want to buy lots of alcohol in the evening. You know, if you want to go to the bar and buy yourself a few G&Ts, then absolutely you'll need a bit of extra cash for that. But in terms of refreshments, food, and that sort of thing, there is nothing that you would need to spend extra cash on while you're there. Sometimes the speakers bring a book in that you might want to purchase, but otherwise that's it really. So when you pay pay your money and you pay to attend the retreat, you pay for your travel, there shouldn't be any extra costs. However, there is a spa, and I have used it. You do need to book in advance because it gets really busy. I've had a couple of massages and they are really lovely. I've had a back massage. I think I had a hot stone massage. Both were really, really gorgeous. So if you want to book to have spa treatments, when you do book the retreat, I'd even ring the hotel and book in for your spa treatment early. Don't wait till the weekend before. It's unlikely to be available. It's likely to be booked up. However, there is a sauna and a steam room. And the sauna and the steam room are absolutely free of charge, and you don't need to book those. So you can engage in those whether or not you've booked. So this is what it looks like. And you can see a little bit of the grounds there with that giant chessboard. The grounds are extensive, and there's a lot of walking you can do. And there's also a forest area you can go into. And that really helps, I think, in terms of thinking and reconnecting with you. So this is a bit of what it looks like. I should have had a bedroom. The bedrooms are gorgeous as well. They're very spacious. They're quite big bathrooms, two single beds to a room or a double bed. And they have coffee making facilities, a TV, and a desk in them as well. So they're very comfortable. You will be very comfortable. I haven't had anyone ever complain about the rooms. They've been very happy. There are often weddings going on in the hotel. So even though there's quite often loud music, as soon as you go to your room and close the door, usually you can't hear it. I think they're just big, heavy doors, or maybe they're soundproofed. So usually you'd get a good night's sleep. But I do often say to people, bring an eye mask and some earplugs. If you are a light sleeper, and if you are sharing a room and you haven't been slept with that person before in the room with that person, you might snore, they might snore, it might get light really early. So just actually bring the things that you need to have a good night's sleep. You might want to bring your own pillow, for example, whatever makes you feel comfortable. So I just want to show you a quick review, and this is from Catherine Gale, who I believe has been to 3 of the retreats. She's always come to the February retreat. She's come to and started her year off right. She's a health practitioner, a nurse, and she's just fabulous. She sets her goals and she smashes them, and she feels that the retreats set her up for the year. So I'm just going to get back to that page. I think it's that one. Yeah.
I can't recommend it highly enough. Being here for the 2 days, I have come back energized and transformed. I know when the Facebook message came out about it, I knew I needed to be here. I would recommend it to any women who are at a stage in their life where they know they need to make some changes and they've got a plan, but they need help in getting there. For me, the difference has been that all those negative thoughts that I had have somehow just disappeared. And now I have a clear plan on what I need to do, with a focus on looking after myself and also moving forward with my idea.
So again, I hope you could hear that okay. And that's Catherine, who's been, as I said, been back time and time again to the retreat. So she's absolutely fabulous and gets a lot from it, and was one of the original retreats. So just a bit about the facilitators. Now I always facilitate on the program, of course, on the retreat, and I have guest facilitators. For February, we're going to have Jackie Holder, who's facilitated many of the retreats, and Andrea Watts as well. And Jackie has a wealth of experience. I've known her about 15 years now, and she really connects us with nature, helps us think about who we are and what we're about. And she really uses journaling highly successfully to help actually you tap into your unconscious thoughts. There's these conscious thoughts we have that we know what we're thinking. There's a lot that goes on under the surface for us. She helps us surface them in order to either tap into some of our answers or remove some of the obstacles that are standing in our way. And she's got a great book, 49 Ways to Write Yourself Well, as well as many other books she's got. But really the work that she does with us is a lot from that, and her work around connecting with trees and the wisdom of trees as well. The fact that they're wise, they've been around a long time, and actually we can learn an awful lot from trees. And then there's Andrea, who provides a initiative, a program, a service, which is around creative collage. And it's so much more than vision boarding, which is what you might think about. It's much more around actually noticing images that we choose and what they might be telling us, whether that's around the colors, whether that's around the metaphor for us, and using them as a kind of message really to take us through our year. So both of them are highly skilled, highly experienced. I'm not bringing to you people who've just sort of rocked up today and decided they do what they do. They're really deeply embedded in the work they do. They have really deep psychological roots in the work that they do. And they really are quite transformational in that work. I can tell you personally, on that last retreat, the one about connecting to their joy, for me, I found it personally transformational as well. I get as much from these retreats as the people who attend. And the day that I stop being transformed from them, I'll know something's not quite right and I need to do some further work. What I do on the retreats is really introduce you to the 4 rooms model. I provide the connection between the facilitators and guide you to a place where you are able to set your goals, set some really strong goals and hold you to account on that. So it's the whole process is guiding you to goal setting in a way that works for you on the goals that are important to you, and making sure you really connect with what's important. It's interesting that you might wonder, why do people keep coming back to the retreat? Didn't it work the first time? I think that what happens is that it's like anything. I think Zig Ziglar says, why do we keep doing things? Well, we wash every day, don't we? We don't stop washing because we washed yesterday, we washed the day before. And it's the fact that actually we do need to actually reignite our goals and also set new ones. And a year or 6 months is a good time to do that. But also that there's something about the learning that gets deeper and deeper the more you attend. I have one retreater, Nikki, who I think has been to 5 of the retreats. And she said each time, they are all a little bit different, but she said each time she got something different because she understood it differently, depending on where she was in her life, or she understood it more deeply because sometimes it doesn't quite sink in the first time. So there is something about hearing a message in different ways at different times for it to really land and for really to work with you. And it's not to say it doesn't work the first time, it just works even more deeply and in a different way the second time and the third time and the fourth time. And, I've been part of every single one. And as I said, each time I find a little transformation happens in me. So that this is really key. So for the February retreat, this is the team. I have my guest facilitators of Jackie Holder and Andrea Watts, and they are both really amazing women. Really are proud to work alongside them. Between us, we must have over 50 years of experience. And also, if you think about how much the retreat is, the full price is £999, but I'm going to share with you a special price today. But if you think to have each of us for a day would be £1,000 a day. You've got us for 2 days, really giving you, some really deep, some real quality interventions that we've really worked hard on perfecting and thinking about the quality, what really works, what really helps people achieve their goal, what really connects them with what's important. So if you think about that, just on this page, it's at least £3,000 you'd be paying if you had each of us for a day. And the retreat itself is £999 at full price. So you're getting a bargain. But if you think then as well that you're getting over 50 years experience on top of that, and I'm going to share with you some more of what else you'll get, then actually this is a really good investment in you and a really good deal that you're getting as well. And, you know, we all want to get a bargain. We all want to get the most for our money. So that's what it's about. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the model that underpins it. There's an Indian proverb or axiom that says that everyone is a house with 4 rooms, a physical, a mental, an emotional, and a spiritual. Most of us tend to live in one room most of the time, but unless we go into every room every day, even if only to keep it aired, we are not a complete person. And this came from Ruma Gooden. So this is the underpinning model, that we are made up of 4 rooms: our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, and our physical. And to achieve our goals, we really need to be tapping into all of these on a regular basis. And so what we do with the retreat is help you think about that. How do I tap into my mental room? How does that help me achieve what I want? Or am I tapping into it too much and it's stopping me going into my emotional room, which could be so much better for me? Perhaps if I was in my emotional room, I'd live my passion more. Or perhaps if I was in my spiritual room, I'd listen to my intuition more. Or perhaps if I was in my physical room, I'd make sure I had the resilience and strength to achieve what I want to do. So I'm not going to go into it in full depth because we do that on the retreat, but it helps give you a number of lenses into a way of thinking about what you want to achieve. It's not just about setting goals, it's about looking holistically at what rooms you're sitting in, what you're neglecting, and how that might create some barriers to achieving your goals, but also what you might need to do more of. And we go into quite a lot of depth about these rooms and what you might specifically do that will help you. So for me, out of the last retreat, I realized I needed to have a bit more fun. And the fun was more emotional fun, some more belly laughs, some more socializing. That was what I realized was a room I wasn't going into as much. And I've done a lot more of that, and I feel much more rounded as a result of doing that. And there was also something for me about more personal investment in myself as well. Learning new things, engaging in courses, actually taking time out to refill in terms of my knowledge, in terms of my learning and growth as well. So for me, those were areas that I wanted to spend more time in. And they helped me to think about them. I did that through this model. I wanted to work through my mental and my emotional. I feel I do quite a lot of the spiritual. And although I've just started to engage in the gym, I am quite physically active. So I wasn't too worried about that at the last retreat. So these things can change and they can shift. But these are really helpful lenses that we use as an underpinning model for the retreat. So I've got one more testimonial video I want to share with you, and we're nearly at the end of the webinar. I know you've been listening really carefully, and I really appreciate that. And then I'll share with you our exclusive special offer that we have. So I don't think that was the right one. Just quickly go into that screen. This is a very short testimonial that you're going to hear from Mandy. I wanted to share with you because she actually talks about those 4 rooms. And I think just to hear someone else's perspective on it, who's heard the full the full idea of what they're about.
So the email that I got as an invitation to come to the Happenista retreat came at a time in my life when I was undergoing some changes. And I thought it was just a good coincidence that I was being invited to an event that gave me 2 days to really think about myself and to think about what I want to do next. So I came yesterday morning, not quite knowing what to expect and not always feeling terribly confident about where I was in my life. But the journey of entering the 4 rooms and understanding and relating them to myself has been brilliant. And at the end of the 2nd day, which is now, I've got a goal and I've broken it down into a goal, and I've got a strong intention to commit myself to achieving that goal. So it's been a very good 2 days and well worth it.
Brilliant. So you've got to see that. Pause that. So that was Mandy, and as she said, I like a lot of what she said, because she said that she didn't know what to expect. She didn't know exactly